What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Red Flame Racing Reviews. We are at the Toronto review, and we're at this point in the season where it's preview, review. You'll have some great videos later on in the season about what IndyCar should do silly season and the schedule and whatnot. But for now, it's just these review and preview videos. But I love it, man. I love the IndyCars racing every weekend. It's what they should be doing. Yeah, man. Like this is great. Today's race was phenomenal. The crowd looked amazing. I wish they told us how many people were there, but I bet it's 100,000. I mean, obviously a street circuit can't hold much more. I bet 100,000 people were there. And that podium where you had all those fans there, I mean on the drive, they don't have a victory lane Pato couldn't drive into victory lane. He kind of just drove into the pits with VK and Simpson behind him and Herta and Ericsson, the top five. But it's still like that podium looked so cool on TV. And the fact that we're talking about dropping Toronto from the schedule is ridiculous. That should never be happening. Toronto needs a contract for 15 years to sit on the calendar. That track is awesome. The only race, well, I guess we're already losing thermal. The only race that needs to leave the calendar is both races at Iowa. There's no reason we need to go to Iowa anymore. And yeah, that you just find two more races. You go to Mexico City and you go to Richmond. I mean, let's make that very clear. The fact that Toronto's even in discussion for leaving is ridiculous. That race was insane, and I'm going to call it probably the best race of the season so far. That Road America or Gateway this year, yeah, for sure. This race was the definition of a true IndyCar race. Let's now talk about the race. Pato O'Ward wins it after leading 30 laps. Probably wasn't going to win, but he timed the caution perfectly. I forget which caution it was. Let me scroll down to the bottom. I really feel bad forgetting what caution this was. It was the Alexander Rossi caution. Timed that perfectly, and that's what won him the race. Got ahead of all the Andretti cars on that pit and won him the race. But it was not the Andretti cars that followed him home in second and third. It was Rinus VeeKay for Dale Coyne doing a perfect two-stop, and Kiffin Simpson. I know Kiffin Simpson is Ganassi, but it is his first podium. That is what IndyCar is all about, a Dale Coyne and a first-time podium sitter with Pato. I mean, just that is what is a true IndyCar podium. I loved it. Kiffin Simpson and Rinus VeeKay honestly might be the two standouts of the season so far. They're performing at levels that I don't think anyone truly expected them to perform at. And Rinus VeeKay, after the race, he said, "It's my first podium of many with this team." Maybe he stays at Coyne, but I have a hard time believing that. I suspect he'll be in a big team next year, but who knows? Maybe Rinus is happy to stay put at Coyne. And Colton Herta in P4, maybe should have dominated this race if it wasn't for all those cautions. Probably should have dominated if it wasn't for all those cautions. But 6 laps in 4th place, I'm sure he's feeling pretty disappointed with that because it could have been a lot more. Marcus Ericsson, 5th place. That's probably his best race of the season so far. Really good to see Marcus kind of getting back to his form. Kyle Kirkwood in 6th, great recovery. Marcus Armstrong spun him around in the pits, like at the lap 60 mark, somewhere in there. It may have been in the 40s or 50s, just somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly the lap, but managed to finish 6th. He had a rocket ship car. He also maybe could have dominated this weekend. Graham Rahal in 7th. He said in his post-qualifying yesterday, he's wanted the clean Sunday to get a result. You got it, Graham. Good job. Kyle Milot. Ditto Prema, P8 Kyle Milot. That's their best result in the season. The previous best were a 10th at Gateway from Schwartzman, and then a 9th from Schwartzman at Iowa, and now Kyle Milot ups that with an 8th at Toronto. Great to see Ilott finally get a result he deserves. He's been very underrated good this year. David Malukas in 9th for AJ Foyt, probably had pace for a podium, but bottled the last pit stop and was on the wrong strategy. Still managed to come through 9th. Scott Dixon in 10th. That Ganassi normally calls a great strategy. Did not call great strategy today on the 9 and 10 cars. Called a good one for Kiffin, but Dixon ends up 10th. Will Power 11th at one point on a restart. Hit the brakes too late. Hit the wall very slightly. Able to continue to 11th place. Alex Palou, P12. This is his worst result finishing the race, obviously. Detroit, where he didn't finish. This is his worst result where he finished the race this year. Led 37 laps. Coulda, shoulda, woulda dominated this race, but was on the wrong strategy. Christian Lundgaard, who literally was a wall magnet those last couple of laps, hitting the wall, I think, 15 times. I don't know how he didn't crash. Yeah, 13th. That was pretty crazy at the end. Marcus Armstrong looked like he had a lot of pace in the beginning of this race, but unfortunately just fell off, made contact with Kirkwood in the pits, and kind of ruined his day from there, but had a lot of pace. Connor Daly, one point looked like he'd be top 5, then top 10, and then in the end got dropped and finishing 15th. That was unfortunate to see. You never want to see that, but it's what happened. Robert Schwartzman, 16th on the wrong strategy, pretty slow, and he was the last car to finish on the lead lap. One lap down was Stingray Rob. Obviously, his hauler burnt down on the way home from Iowa, so it's just a accomplishment being out on the track if you're Stingray Rob today. Nolan Siegel, 18th, got collected in that last 3 laps to go caution that ended the race when Felix Rosenqvist was spun and took him out. So Siegel 18th, Felix Rosenqvist 19th. Christian Rasmussen, he crashed about on lap 15, but only broke his wheel, flatted his wheel and his wing. He was able to continue and finished 8 laps down. Louis Foster randomly in the race said, he's got a flat, came in and only did 67 laps today. Devlin DeFrancesco was caught out when Jacob Abel and Joseph Newgarden crashed. He spun and damaged his car doing 57 laps, and then Jacob Abel and Joseph Newgarden both retiring on lap 36. Alexander Rossi ran a quarter wide, and 99 times out of 100, he keeps going, but unfortunately the wall was sticking out in the perfect spot and destroyed his car. Very bizarre accident. Scott McLaughlin, 26, his wheel was never attached and his wheel nut came flying off and sent McLaughlin into the wall, and then did not start in the race. Back-to-back races where a driver did not start, so back-to-back races and only 26 out of the 27 cars even started the race. Santino Ferrucci, number 14, Sexton's property car, fortunately had a pretty big crash in the morning warm-up and was unable to get it fixed and prepared. So the team decided that they're just going to focus on Laguna. Now let's look at the championship standings and where they stand after Toronto. Alex Palou leads with 536 points. 99 points back is Pato O'Ward in second. In third place is Kyle Kirkwood, 173 back. And fourth place is Dixon, 174 back. And fifth place is Lundgaard, 219 back. 6th place is Rosenqvist, 7th place is Armstrong, 8th place is Herta, 9th place is Power, 10th place is Malukas, 11th place is VK, 12th place is Ferrucci, 13th place is McLaughlin, 14th is Simpson, 15th is Rasmussen, 16th is Newgarden, 17th is Daly, 18th is Rossi, 19th is Erickson, 20th is Rahal, 21st is Siegel, 22nd Schwartzman, 23rd Foster, 24th Ilott, 25th Stingray, 26th Dev, and 27th Jacob Abel. So that is where we stand at after the Toronto race. Great race. I loved it. And I will see you for the Laguna Seca preview and review next week.